I usually do this thing usually it's room 310 in Old Main. That's where the Poli-Sci department is located on campus. If you haven't got a chance visiting the campus, I hope that someday in the summer soon, you can go and visit us. The Department of Political Science and the pre-law program is situated in the beautiful building of Old Main, 3rd floor. And if you have visited the campus, and I know some of you maybe already made the decision of joining us in the fall, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you on campus. I saw that there are 3 of you so far, right? And I know at least Colin has already submitted the deposit, you made the commitment. So you pretty much already learned something about the program. I'm not going to talk too much about the program, but I still will present some basic information, and then I'll try to save more time for you to ask me questions that you may have still at this stage. So my name is Xiaowen Zhang. I'm an associate professor and the chair of the political science department. I have been with the department since 2008. I'm going to show you a brief PowerPoint showing you some of the basics of the department. So let me start sharing my screen now. Let me know if you cannot see the screen, and I'll try to adjust. So let me do this. Can you see my screen? Yep. All right. So here is the beautiful building, the Old Main, and this is my office here. So the department is currently has 5 full-time faculty members. We each is in charge of one particular area of concentration, and Dr. Dave Dano is our pre-law advisor. So his expertise is in public law, and he serves the role of advising all the students who have interest in going to law school, not necessarily majoring in political science. So right now, we offer 4 different areas of concentrations: American politics, comparative politics, international relations, and political theory. My particular expertise is in international relations, which is the study of relationship between different states, the study of world international organizations, and so on. So let me switch my presentation to this. Can you see this, the poster, here? Okay, so very briefly, here you can see our major requirement. We designed this curriculum to make sure that our students will have a solid foundation entering the program by taking 2 introductory 100 level classes. You have the freedom of picking 2 out of the 4. And so if you remember, we have 4 different concentrations, right? So each concentration offers a 100 level introductory class. And based on your own interest, you begin the program by taking 2, choosing 2 out of the 4 concentrations. In order to have you develop the breadth of the program, we also ask you to take 1 course from at least 3 of the 4 concentration areas. And then to develop some kind of expertise or depth in the study of political science, you will identify a particular area of concentration and do 3 courses in one of the 4 areas or the concentration area that you prefer to have a expertise. When you become a junior, we have designed 2 300 level classes. The first one is to introduce you to the overall discipline of poli-sci. We imagine that you probably enter the program by because of specific interest, say in American politics, campaign, presidential election, participation in politics, right? But in this first 300 level class, you will have the opportunity to learn all 4 sub-disciplines or sub-fields of the field of the particular discipline and see how they actually connect with each other. The second 300 level class basically teaches you about the methods that we as political scientists use in order to answer important and interesting questions in the field. These 2 300 level classes are also designed to prepare you for the final capstone project, which is the senior inquiry class in your senior year. So in this class, you will use the knowledge that you have learned throughout the 3 years prior to senior year, and the methods that you learned in 302, the second 300 level class, to develop a research project of your own. So will give you the freedom to identify any research question that you have in mind, and then guide you through the process of doing independent research with the help of our faculty members to generate a final research project that's going to be the peak of your experience of the major. So that's the curriculum, right, of the political science program. We also offer a minor which requires 20 credits from poli-sci. I'll speak a little bit about the pre-law program. Here at Augustana, we don't really have a pre-law degree or a major in pre-law. Instead, we have a pre-law advisor. That's Dr. Dave Dano, who is one of our colleagues here. And we also have developed a list of courses that we recommend our students to take. As you can see, they're drawn from different departments, right, different programs, but three of them are actually offered by the political science department: the legal system, constitutional law, and topics in law and politics. A lot of our students choose to major in political science if they are interested in going to law school, because first of all, right, they need to know how the government works in general to learn the role of the legal system. And secondly, of course, right, there's an expert here in the department about law. So specifically, yeah, I'm not saying that if you're interested in law school, you have to major in poli-sci, but it's recommended and strongly preferred if you choose to study political science as your major for law school. So here, again, talks about what the roles of the pre-law advisor. Dr. Dana will meet you on a one-on-one basis and recommends courses for you to take. It will also help you with the process of choosing and applying to law school. So he's a really important and very, very helpful resource for our students if they're thinking about law school. Other than the courses that we offer, we also offer many opportunities helping you to identify, for example, internship opportunities, or to help you prepare for grad school if that's what you want to do after college. Right? For grad school, for students who are interested in going to grad school, whether it's a master program in public policy or a PhD program in political science in general, we know that developing research skills, writing research papers with faculty members are very important. So we offer such students opportunities to work closely with us on their individual research projects. Throughout the years, we had not too many, but each year there's a few students who actually had the opportunities to work with us very closely on their own topic, or simply helping us with our own research projects. I personally have taken students to do research on air pollution issues in China. Dr. Magalhães, whose expertise is in comparative politics, has taken students to Brazil to do research on gender issues, in particular violence against women in Brazil. So if you are interested in grad school, we offer such valuable experiences to you too. Because we are located in the Quad City area, and we have long fostered good relationship with local politicians and local governmental agencies. We actually have partnered with, for example, Rock Island City to develop internship opportunities primarily for our own students, right? And we also worked with our local state's attorney office, and a lot of our students who have interest in law school, they actually got internship opportunities with the U.S. Attorney's Office or with local law firms. So if you are, interested in finding internship locally, if you're from the local area, we have good resources locally. But if you, as a poli-sci major, wants to go to Washington, D.C., the capital of the U.S., of course, the capital and the center of politics, over the last, I would say, 6 years, the college has partnered with the Washington, D.C. Internship Institute. You can actually spend a semester at DC through the program, and the program will help you identify either a federal government agency or a non-governmental organization according to your own interest. And a lot of the students find that experience extremely helpful as they navigate the possible career choices after college. And they were able to make a lot of connections, build up their networks over there while they're working in the field. So that's something I would also recommend you to consider as you consider the program. So outside the classroom, there are a lot of clubs that are kind of associated with the department, or in other words, the faculty members of the departments are offering serving as their advisors. For example, we have our own politics club, the College Dem, the College Republicans. Students who are interested in going to law school form their pre-law clubs, and they sometimes would run mock trials. They work together to prepare for LSAT. For students who are interested in international relations or comparative politics, each November we participate in the Model United Nations simulations in Chicago. And we oftentimes are one of the best represented delegations at the simulations. A very rich and educational experience there. My colleague, Dr. Magallanes, and me, we are also members of interdisciplinary area studies program. I'm a member of the Asian Studies program. Dr. Magallanes is the member of the Latin American Studies program. So we also are leading foreign or study abroad terms. Last year, during J term, Dr. Mariano took about 20 students to Brazil, and next spring, right, if things allow, if the situation goes back to normal, I'm planning to take 20 students to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and China to learn about China's international affairs. Again, we also take our students to national conference for undergraduate students of political science so that they can have a larger forum platform to present their research, which is a really helpful experience for students who are interested in going to law school. So there are lots of things going on both inside and outside the classroom. Lastly, I just want to show you some of jobs that our recent alumni has landed. If you can, take a closer look here, what you will find is, probably not all, right, ends up in law school or in politics. Instead, we're seeing a wide variety of jobs listed here. So I would say, in addition to the knowledge, right, the key content that you're learning about how politics works both domestically and internationally, we truly value the lot of skill sets that we our students are getting from our curriculum or from our outside opportunities. So critical thinking skills, communication skills, teamwork skills are highly emphasized across our curriculum. Thanks to those skills, the training of those skills, our students were able to actually find a lot of jobs here, right? It's about being having really good critical thinking or problem solving or analytical skills, right? You have those skills and you can find the kind of job that's really within your own interest, right? It's meeting your interest, meeting your calling. We, as the department, we have been steady growing in the last 3 years in terms of the numbers. Right now, we have at this moment, right, more than 90 majors, which is really a good accomplishment. So I think more and more students, even if they are not interested in poli-sci, when they enroll, after taking a couple of our classes, they find that we're truly a student-centered department. As faculty members, we really care about our students a lot. So we try to spend time with our students, knowing them on a personal basis, trying to work with to help them grow as a person. So that's why I think in general our major has been growing steadily in the last several years, and I certainly welcome you to join us if you decide to come to Augustana. And if you have any questions now, please feel free to ask. Let me know now. I'll try my best to answer all of your questions. All right.
Yep. And actually, if you guys want to go ahead and unmute to ask questions, if you have them, this can be a great time to fire away. So you should be able to unmute yourselves individually. If you need help with it, just give me a motion because I can see everybody right now. So the floor is open.
I was going to ask how the political science courses help prepare for the LSAT if they do.
So first of all, we recommend our students to take, who are interested in law school, right, to take the legal system class, right? It's the 200 level classes. Once you have done the 2 intro classes, is the time now for you to take the 200, 260. And that is a class that kind of overviews the entire legal system, right? How it works, how it fits in the entire US political system. After you get this foundational or overview of how legal system works in the US, then you take, mostly we recommend you to take Constitutional Law 1. In that class, Dr. Dano uses primarily a case study approach. So you will be actually learning important cases in the development or evolution of the US Constitution. Read all of the cases, right? The documents, the arguments from the judges, the justices, and then see the logic behind, right? Each of the cases. And I think that's, personally, I've never taken LSAT, right? But based on my knowledge of it, right, it's a really good way to learn about how, as a lawyer or as a judge actually approach those cases. How do they actually apply or interpret laws in specific cases, right? So I think, again, in that class, Dr. Dana also asks the students to do a mock trial. They have to take a case and to actually present the case in a trial format in front of the class. From what I heard from our students, right, I oftentimes hear them saying, wow, this is tremendously helpful as they think about going to law school, right? So some kind of like a first exposure to the kind of experiences that they may have in law school.
And I would add in there, Paige, a combination of the courses that were listed there for the pre-law, the recommended courses, because you're going to have some philosophy courses in there, the philosophy of law, that are going to be a huge part of the LSAT. And then you combine that with the pre-law club on campus. That's essentially going to be a cohort of students that all have the same goal. They want to get a great LSAT test and pursue law school. And so they're going to be advised in a way that prepares them for the LSAT class. So they're going to meet regularly and go over pre-LSAT materials in preparation. And then when you combine that with the classroom experiences, our students are ready when they get there. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
Do you guys have like an LSAT review course on campus, or do we have, or because I know there's typically review courses for the LSAT. Do you have those on campus, or is there resources on campus that can help us get connected to a source where we can take those review courses, or how does that all work?
We as a department doesn't offer the so-called outside prep class. What I know though is when you're thinking about law school, we have a LSAT prep kind of like a book, basically laid out to you at the poli-sci floor, right? The poli-sci wing. So you can, students know then, what kind of sample questions they will get in the LSAT test. And then Dr. Dano, I think he as the advisor, right? He will provide you some information about if you want to take a course, right? How can you take where can you take the course? I think as maybe one thing that we can do from the perspective of the department is mostly connect you with fellow students who are also interested in law school, introduce you to the pre-law club. So I know that they have paired up, or they have worked together to prepare for law school. But as a department, I don't think as a college we actually offer you any specific class just for that purpose.
Yep, and again, I would add it's the LSAT club, or the law school club, that is going to be on campus that is going to collectively work towards that. So every club on campus has a faculty advisor in that club. It's not like a group of students only. They're going to have a faculty member, a staff member paired with them. And so they're going to work with students each year that are in a different process of getting into law school. They're going to work with students when they're first years, sophomores, juniors, all the way through that senior year. And so as they work year after year with that same group of students, they really develop an expertise in advising the students the right way to prepare for those things. So it's not going to be a formal course. It's not going to be a 200 level course on campus, but those students that have interest in it, that have Dr. Dental as their advisor with that pre-law, are going to have access to all the preparation materials that they need.
Let me just add one thing. I know the importance of LSAT in the whole process of applying for law school, but bear in mind that's only one piece of the whole application, right? We think that clearly your overall GPA is important, but having a strong recommendation letter from a faculty member is also sometimes, the deal breaker. And one thing about attending a small liberal arts program, college like ours, is that we work with our students very closely. So we know all of our majors, and our majors have plenty of opportunities of knowing us, working with us. So when we write letters of recommendation for our students who are interested in law school, we were actually able to talk about the strengths of the students, really, in a manner that really shows you, right? Really shows you who you are. Instead of, if you go to a big universities where you may have 100, 200 majors, professors can only write a generic recommendation letter, for the students because they barely talk to each other inside or outside. I think that's a big strength, right? So I think outside, again, outside is important, but don't forget there are also other pieces of the application that you also need to work on, and we clearly offer you good support during this process. This year, one of our graduates already got admitted by Northwestern. We also had the law school, not Northwestern Law School. From my memory, last 10 years of memory, I think there's not a single student who actually set up their mind on law school was not accepted by a law school program. So if they decided by the senior year to pursue this route, my memory is that they are eventually accepted by law school programs, and some are really top ranked law school programs. So again, our pre-law advisor is very useful, resourceful here, and if you Colin, when you are here, feel free to reach out to him. I would say if that's what you want to do, the first thing in your first year is to introduce yourself to him, and then he will have a really in-depth conversation with you, giving you more information, okay?
I was wondering, the political science majors who concentrate in international relations, what specifically do they go into?
Good question. So far from what I know, one student actually is working for the State Department. He graduated, I think 6 years ago, and then he went ahead, had a master's degree in public policy. He spent a year a semester actually in Beijing. And then he applied for a position in the State Department, and he's now working with the U.S. Embassy in Rome. So clearly that's one thing you can do. We had another student who had basically gone to PhD programs in the study of international relations. She got full package financial assistance package, basically all 5 years of PhD. It's a University of Pennsylvania, so basically all of the costs of the PhD educations is covered, and she also got generous support for her research about basically China, because she is one of my students. Another thing you could do is to work for NGO. Today, many non-governmental organizations are international. We have students who had internship opportunities with local NGOs, and then they went on to do Peace Corps for a year or 2 years, and after coming back, they rejoined some NGOs that they had experiences before as an intern, or they found new NGOs in Chicago, in DC area. This is also still an international career. I also have advisees who are double majors in international business, right? So if you're interested in international relations as a concentration in political science, one thing you can consider is to double majoring in international business, because clearly multinational corporations in the US, they look for students who have this kind of global perspectives, who have some Another thing I oftentimes recommend our students who are interested in pursuing a career in international relations is to develop fluency in a second language. Right? English clearly is an international language already, but to become a diplomat or to become a business rep in another country, knowing their own language is clearly a big strength. Right, so I oftentimes encourage the students to maybe double majoring or minoring in a foreign language, learn about the cultures of the region of the country, in addition to developing knowledge and expertise in how to conduct international relations, right? So yeah, just a few examples, but as I said, usually we encourage you to double majoring in businesses, in particular international business, double majoring in foreign languages, or even some other majors, right, to kind of establish a career concentration. It's not just knowing how states can, unless you want to do foreign, diplomacy, right? If you want to become a diplomat, learning how governments work, learning how governments interact with each other is good, sufficient. But if you are interested in pursuing a career in international business or NGOs, right? Because NGOs are categorized by different areas that they work in. It could be an NGO in providing humanitarian assistance, or could be an NGO in the issue area of human rights. So depending on the issue area that the NGO that you're interested in, we may recommend you to double major in sociology, anthropology, economics, right? So it really depends on your personal interest. And as I said earlier, once you declare major, we as advisors will have a in-depth conversation with you, probing you to tell us what exactly is your interest when it comes to an issue or a problem that you want to solve. And then from there, we'll try to give you recommendations about courses to take, potential double majors or minor you want to consider in order to build you towards that career goal. Okay.
And I would jump in and add to that. I just posted a link in the group chat too to our More Than I Imagined page. If you're interested in like what Augustana students do when they leave Augustana, every year we'll kind of chronicle a handful of students from every major. One of the things that you'll see is a lot of them are double majors. Close to 40% of our students at Augustana are going to have a second major. But Ella, you can go through and look exactly through. So I think I shared the 2015 class because that was the year I graduated, so my former classmates are in there. But you can go through every year and see profiles from some of our more recent grads, some of our older graduates. If you find one, go type their name into Google and find out on LinkedIn, what are they doing now? I know I had a couple of classmates that went out to DC, a couple that went to law school. The assistant city manager in Oak Brook is an Augustana grad who is a lacrosse player here. John Pape did law school at NIU. You'll see Ebony Allen is shown on the More Than I Imagined. Ebony went and did a program at Yale, pursuing, I think it was bioethics, if I remember right, but you can read that as well.
Yep,
Ebony was
I remember
awesome.
Ebony. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And see what they're doing now. It's a great way to kind of, explore, and then also have an understanding on there are no limits on what your path can be. Augustana students are going to do a lot of different things once they leave here. It's the position that you put yourself into with your GPA, with your relationships with faculty members, with your LSAT prep. When you combine each of those areas, well, then you're working with your advisor to find, okay, what's the best fit. But I would encourage you to explore that link a little bit and look through the different years to see what students do. Do we have any other questions, guys? It's getting a little bit quiet there. So thank you for coming and being a part. I'm going to share some emails back and forth as well. I'll probably reach out to Dr. Dental, actually. I'd had class with him when I was a sophomore at Augustana. He's an awesome guy. And so he might be reaching out, especially Colin Page. You guys had some of those LSAT questions that he might be able to provide some different input on some of that preparation. I think would be helpful. So thanks again for being here. You guys can go ahead and log off. I'm going to hit end record. And thank you very much to.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Have a great day, guys.